Good afternoon. This is a news update on Dominion Television Ibadan. I am Osernoma Saba. The federal government has commissioned 100 housing units in Ibadan as part of efforts to reduce Nigeria's housing deficit and provide affordable shelter for low and middle income earners. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Housing Authority, Oyetunde Ojo, says the initiative is a major step towards inclusive home ownership across the country. Our correspondent, Eniola Salvador, has the report.
Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, the Federal Housing Authority has inaugurated 100 housing units in Ajoda New Town, located along Ibadan to Ife Expressway. The initiative is a part of a large plan to deliver 1,000 housing units aimed at reducing the national housing shortfall, which stands at over 17 million units.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And this is your Kisa.
The estate comprises 2- and 3-bedroom ensuite apartments and was officially handed over to beneficiaries. Authorities says the current phase prioritized the formal sector, with efforts ongoing to include Nigerians in the informal sector.
We have been mandated to put up more affordable houses. So any moment from now, we'll be flagging off the building of affordable housing scheme in 17 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the government, while developers highlighted the importance of sustained collaborations to meet housing demands.
Thank you for the promise of saying that you are having 1,000 units in mind to give about 1,000 people a house. This is a very great initiative, and so we say a very big thank you to him, and we say God will continue to help him.
This estate, we are going to have hospital, we are going to have schools, we are going to have shopping mall, then we have security outfits like police post in the estate.
The FHA Managing Director Oyetunde Ojo reiterated the agency's commitment to ensure that all Nigerians, regardless of income level, can access safe, affordable housing.
About it's decent, it's livable for a big family, it's livable for a small family. We are going to liaise with the security operatives to make sure adequate security is being provided. Phase 1 has been commissioned to phase 10. When they see houses like this, they're always afraid. They say they won't give them because probably they are not learned, they are not educated. And that's why we are calling on the KBCs and the people. I say, no, come. There's mortgages for you people in the informal sector. You try and approach. And that's why you saw a mortgage bank, you saw FMBN as well. Come and approach.
A journalist and publisher in Ibadan, Dapo Falade, has highlighted the complexities of creating 12 new states in Nigeria, emphasizing the constitutional requirements that must be met. Falade stated this in an interview with Dominion News, noting that 24 out of 36 states need to be approved before state creation can be considered.
National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Reps, they've been talking about. They said they've given the accent to 12 more states. But like I said, that is not our problem. Let us have even as many as 100 states. It can never foster development and growth. Rather, we should concentrate on what and how we can make the states, the existing states, to be feasible.
He, however, stated that the government should focus on important issues rather than the creation of states. Security expert Dr. Kunle Okunola has described the retired police protest as an awareness of the federal government's negligence and poor maintenance of retired police officers and serving officers. Okunola described the police force as an intense job of serving the country for 35 years and nothing to show for it, emphasizing that the protest was necessary.
Pathetic that having put 35 years into active service in a job that is so security intense, and at the end of the day, there's no benefits. That is afterwards, he gets 30,000 naira every month for pension. That is absurd. it's not encouraging. They had no choice. They just have to stay there. The place is not habitable. Each time I visit, there was a time I was doing a private study on the barracks of police. I wept with the condition of service. You need to see their toilet, see their bedroom. It's horrible. It's terrible. You know, nobody.
He further urged the government to abolish the contributory pension scheme, warning that poorly maintained retired officers could pose grave threats to national security and stability. An educator in Ibadan, Dr. Rashid Fasasi, has attributed the high rate of bullying among secondary school students to the negligence of parents and high rate of domestic violence in different homes. Fasasi made this known in an exclusive interview with Dominion News correspondent Sheifumi Akinsoya, stating that bullying is not particular to any gender, as the educational sector over the years has witnessed the art from the different genders.
Violence is a recurring situation in the country, and this is rubbing off on the schools too. Because these students are from some families, and then they will now take whatever they have learned from their interaction in the family to the schools. And so that is to one extent. You see violence every day, and therefore it will be a miracle if you don't have bullying in schools, because bullying will be a result of what occurs regularly in the society. Bullying is not limited to one gender. We have heard of bullying in single-sex schools, male-only schools, female-only schools, and in mixed-gender schools, we have had bullying. And so one cannot precisely say maybe it's the boys that
Speaking on measures put in place for the correction of the menace among secondary students, he stated that any student caught is directed to court to obtain an affidavit of behavior alongside sanctions and counseling to the bully.
It's everybody's duty to stop bullying, starting from the home. So it is also the responsibility of the school to ensure that the act of bullying is matched with greater sanction by the management of the school. Then you are sending a message to all students in the school that you are not going to tolerate bullying. For instance, when such are reported and then investigated, and then you have those who are guilty, you ask them to go to the High Court and swear affidavit of good behavior. And then when they pass through processes like this, apart from other forms of punishment like suspension in the school, like asking them to do some...
Bullying over the years remains a noxious issue in Nigerian schools, with detrimental effects on the physical, emotional and psychological well-being of students. On the foreign scene, President Donald Trump says the U.S. has agreed to a massive trade deal with Japan. Japan has agreed to invest $550 billion in the U.S., while its goods sold to America would be taxed at 15% when they reach the country, below the 25% tariff Trump had threatened. Trump said on social media that Japan would open its economy to U.S. goods, including cars, trucks, rice, and certain agricultural products. Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba welcomed the announcement, saying it was the lowest figure to date among countries with trade surpluses with the U.S. A group of U.S. judges have voted to replace President Donald Trump's selection for New Jersey's top federal prosecutor amid opposition from Democrats in the state. Alina Habba had served as Trump's personal attorney, defending him in several legal cases before she was chosen for the role in March. She has no previous experience as a prosecutor in criminal law. The outing of Haba sparked a clash between the panel and members of the Trump administration, who denounced the move and said her replacement was immediately removed from the post. Trump officially nominated Haba to take the job, but the Senate has yet to vote on her confirmation. She was serving in an interim role for 120 days. Thousands are paying their respects to veteran Indian Communist leader V.S. Achuthanandan, whose funeral will be held on Wednesday. V.S., as he was popularly known, died on Monday at the age of 101. He was a founding member of India's largest communist party and a former chief minister of the southern state of Kerala. Tens of thousands of people have thronged the street to pay tribute to the politician, widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in Kerala's political history. Sudan's oil-rich Kordofan region has turned into a major frontline in the war between the army and rival paramilitary forces, as both sides try to gain the upper hand in a conflict that has devastated the vast African state for more than 2 years. Attacks that killed hundreds of civilians earlier this month have shifted attention to the battle for this part of the country. However, the battle for the region, which is made up of 3 states with a population of close to 8 million, has intensified since June, when the army focused on regaining the territory from the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, after it made significant gains in the preceding 3 months, recapturing the capital, Khartoum, and neighboring Gezira State, the agricultural hub of Sudan. Talking sports, President Bola Tinubu has applauded the Super Falcons following their victory over South Africa in Tuesday's Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON semi-final in Morocco. The victory secured Nigeria's spot in the final and presented the team with a chance to win a record-extending 10th WAFCON title. Reacting in a statement moments after the match in Morocco, President Tinubu congratulated the Falcons, saying that the victory was well-deserved and nothing short of superlative. He said that the team made the nation proud and urged them not to relent until they bring the trophy home. You can also follow us across our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at DominionCast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television. I am Osernoma Saba. Thank you for watching.